This is gonna make me look so short because I'm wearing these gigantic heels, as you can see, and it's still too long. You could actually see my toes, you could see my shoes. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy, and in this video we are going to compare two wedding dresses that I bought from AliExpress. Now there's a couple of things that I do want to point out. The first one is my hair. I think at the moment, ignore. I can't figure out what I want. It just seems to look bad. And the second thing that I need to address is, if this is your first time, hello. I've already said yes to my dress, and to be completely transparent with you, these two dresses was actually purchased between two boutiques. So I went to wedding boutique number 1 and I had quite a bad experience, and then after that experience I actually didn't want to go to a boutique anymore. I was done. I didn't like how I felt in the boutique. I almost felt like I was being a little bit judged because my budget wasn't very high. It just felt very extortionate for what it was. The style number 1, I really wanted sleeves. I was very torn between the different style of wedding dresses because I love dresses regardless. In fact, if I get to pick, I would pick every single wedding dress out there and find a way to wear it every single day for a whole week, but that's impossible. So my approach with AliExpress, I decided to add everything that I love in a basket and pick the best ones in each category, narrow it down, and then I was down into two dresses. The first dress I saw had amazing reviews. In fact, all of the reviews were actually 5 stars, I believe, but there was no pictures. So what I ended up doing was sending a message to the seller, and she sent me a picture of the dress, and I've told her my concern, which was I was very scared of thin fabrics, because as soon as you're dealing with thin fabrics, every lump and bump on you shows, and that to me shows that the quality isn't very good because it's not wrapping you up in a nice way, let's put it that way. So this particular dress that I saw on AliExpress was very classic. It was figure hugging, it had sleeves, it was very modest, and the material was very clean, and that was a style I really wanted to try because I wasn't sure whether it would suit me. I knew I was going to lose some weight before the day, so that was the reason that I purchased dress number 1, which was £90.61 including tax and shipping. Just a heads up, dress number 1 is very long on me. They've asked for my measurements and they asked me what kind of heels I was going to wear, and I was pretty much obsessed with tall. I wasn't the tallest and I wasn't the shortest. I'm 5'7", 5'8", but my partner's family is very tall, and his extended family they are absolute walking models. So I need to up my game a bit, just a little bit for my wedding. These are what I'm going to be wearing. So these are very high, but I'm going to see if I could be comfortable in these. I would love to give it a go. So dress number 1, I'm going to be wearing it with these. Dress number 2, weirdly enough, I will wear it with these as well, just because you can see the difference in terms of hemming. The second dress is actually perfect for my height with a little bit of a 3-inch heel. I don't want these shoes to show at all. The heels are on. Even with this much heel, it's still too small. This is gonna make me look so short because I'm wearing these gigantic heels, as you can see, and it's still too long. So this is the dress. I think it fits me quite well in terms of the bottom half. Top half, not so much. Shoulder pads, that's supposed to be on my shoulders, but they're not. The breast pad, don't even ask. I have no idea what's going on, but this is what it looks like. Top will never fit. I feel like, I mean, this is way too high. I feel like this just have a very long torso, because as soon as I wrap this under, it looks better. If I wrap this about 2 inches in, the breast pad suddenly is in place, but this is what it would look like potentially if I got it tailored. Now I know I got 2 dresses and I need to decide on which dress I'm going to get tailored first. The same thing with the back. This is supposed to be a bit more lower, so I would probably tuck the waist in a little bit more just to show a little bit of back. This colour I have is white, like proper white. The dress I'm going to show you next is off-white, but this dress does come in champagne, and some of the comments did say that the champagne one looks beautiful. I'm starting to think that maybe this one could do it off the shoulder instead, but that's not really what I wanted, so I'm going to try and see if it's possible. At least I'm going to ask the tailors or someone, see if it's a possible thing to fix, because that would be nice. I would love something like this. This looks great. I'm seeing myself far away, and I think this is the look that I'm trying to get. Unfortunately, at the moment, that is not the case. Currently, this bit there's a lot of fabric here, and this bit is just a bit odd fitting. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I've got some loose material here. The waist could go a bit, cinch it a little bit more. But this is probably the most ill-fitting one, unfortunately, just because the bottom fits relatively well, but the top really is a mess. I like this look, simple, plain, and very classic, but I don't know if this is even possible to fit me at the top, just because this is so big. Oh, another thing is I would absolutely get this tailored in a little bit more, just to show off a bit of booty, a little bit. I would like it to fit. That is dress number 1. So the second dress I got was a very romantic A-line dress. I went for a deep plunge, a deep back as well. It has a little bit of a cap sleeves, and it just had flowers embroidered all over the dress. So when I ordered that dress, that particular one was actually a risk. There was no reviews. I was the first person who actually purchased from them, but before I made that purchase, I asked for original photos that was from them, things that they have actually produced. So after I found everything, I decided to go for it, and she asked for my measurements. They are made to fit. Both dresses are made to fit, so you give them all your measurements and then they will make the dress for you. I am a bit of an idiot. I didn't know that it was custom fit for everything. I thought you have to pay extra to make them made to your measurement. So I ordered based on my hips. Since my hips was the biggest part of my body, I knew that part needed to fit. So for both dresses, and this is completely my fault, I had a measuring tape at home and I measured my waist to be 74 centimeters. I emailed both of them and said for the waist, can they be 74 centimeters, which is actually a couple of centimeters larger than what it would have been. Little did I know that my measuring tape was wrong. So when I purchased the second dress, after they took my measurements, they actually told me that they ran out of the flowers that they had in the pictures. So instead, she sent me another picture of a replacement flower. Now looking at it, I actually think I prefer the replacement flowers, just because it looks a bit more delicate, a bit more tight, whereas the previous ones looked a bit more loose materials. They're flowers, but they look loose on the dress, and I cannot wait to prepare for dress number 2. So this is dress number 2. As you can see, you could just about, you could actually see my toes, you can see my shoes, you can see my platform. So when I wear like less of a heel, it's actually perfect. But for this dress, I love it. I feel like this dress has more hope, just because it's less ill-fitting than the previous one. I feel like just the breast cups needs to be a bit of a skin colour rather than a white, so it looks like it blends in a little bit more. And then the top. So as you can see, the top of this dress, they really do just about hang onto your shoulders, which for me, it just, you know, it just falls off. So I would need this to be a little bit smaller, potentially just a shorter torso. I think that would probably sort that part out, just a shorter torso, so it's not bunching up at the top. It actually has something to hang on, i.e. my shoulders, rather than just air. But in terms of like the actual dress, it's really not that bad. I really like the flowers on these, and to be completely honest, I prefer this over the original flowers that they had on their website. Oh, also the back of this dress is beautiful. Can you see? So this is dress number 2. Again, the waist is a little bit too big on me. I would say this would be my natural point where they will cinch in, and that would mean this amount needs to go. But where this cinch in, this bit is a bit too long, so that would need to get sorted out. I think both dresses have the same issues. The only difference is that this dress, because it's not so form-fitted, it's not very obvious, whereas the other dress is so form-fitting that the slightest part that doesn't fit really shows. Maybe I can make it off the shoulders. I reckon that might be quite cute as well. So this is me cinching my back, and then if I do it off the shoulders, it's actually not too bad. But I still want it to be on the shoulders because that is how it's supposed to be. The mesh bit is actually insane. They've really nailed it in terms of colour wise. Yeah, this is dress number 2. I think dress number 1 has some high potentials. I think the mistakes that I made was getting a white and not a ivory or champagne colour. The white that I have really looks almost like a blue. It has a blue hue to it, which, you know, depending on your skin tone, it can work and it might not. I really don't know how it works on me until I watch the video back, so we'll see about that. Whereas this dress is an off-white, so it looks like a wedding dress in my head. Obviously it's not perfect, like some flowers are falling. This flower's like falling, but I will just sew it back on. It's not a big deal, especially when you are paying £200 for a dress. I think it's great. I think it's a really good deal. If you're on a budget and charity shop and thrifting isn't really an option, or you can't find anything there, definitely consider AliExpress. When you buy wedding dresses from the boutique, just bear in mind that it will need alterations anyway. That is my 2 cents of it. So those are the 2 dresses that I got from AliExpress. There are so many wedding dresses that are still in my basket, including the one that is a dupe of my Say Yes to the Dress from the actual boutique. I am thinking about getting one of these dresses to the seamstress and get it alterated to my body. And another thing I would like to do is potentially in the future, should I go and buy my Say Yes to the Dress dupe on AliExpress and do a side-to-side comparison, because I think that's something that I would be very interested in. I think the dress dupe on AliExpress is around £330, so it's not cheap. But if that is something that you're interested in, because I'm already interested in doing it, but all in all I would say they're both definitely passable in terms of taking photos. If you want to make them even better, definitely take them to the seamstress. Personally, for the first one, I probably wouldn't go for a white. I will go for maybe an off-white, a champagne, an ivory colour, anything but the white. Second dress, I would probably take them to the seamstress, change the cup colours so that it matches my skin tone. In terms of what you get for AliExpress versus what you get from the boutique, it feels lighter. So compared to the dress that I bought from the boutique, that particular dress, it was over £2,000 and it was heavier. The fabric felt heavier, the beading felt heavy, whereas the dress from AliExpress, the second dress specifically, because it has a little bit of beading and embroidery on it, it was much lighter. The fabric inside, the lining, wasn't as wide as I would imagine this kind of style should be. So for example, for some A-line, you have so much fabric that you can pull up that the lining doesn't have that many fabric for you to lift up, which means you see that disconnect straight away. That is my observation from those 2 dresses. If this is something that you really enjoyed, like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. And that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you next week.